How we doing, everybody? This is Case from Q101. This is A Case For, a show in which I have coerced management and let me talk to my favorite bands. Normally, you're forced to look at me as I do these interviews with these incredible artists, but I'm sitting here with Poppy in the back of the House of Blues here in Chicago. And Poppy, we're not on camera, are we?
Nope, just our voices.
Just our voices. I'm excited to hear your voice. I'm excited for the show sold out at the House of Blues. This interview will be out a few weeks after the fact, but you're on fire right now. Am I safe to say that?
Thanks.
Yes, 2024, Negative Space is obviously out. Your Knocked Loose collaboration, your Bad Omens collaboration. I'll start with a bold question, perhaps risking hyperbole, but with the success that you saw in 2024, would you say it was a life-changing year?
I feel like it was a very significant year for me. I got to do a lot of things that I've been dreaming of, and I'm having a great time.
Good. I like that. I would imagine somebody with your work ethic, somebody that feels to be constantly putting out material, it can be a little taxing at times because you're working. But when you see validation, whether it be from your fan base or from critics or from even something like the Grammys, does it really matter to you that, people seem to like what you're doing?
It's nice to know that people are experiencing it in whatever form. I feel like any reaction is a good reaction if I can provoke somebody.
Oh my goodness.
But I do also feel like it's thrilling overall. And I just like to create things and put them out there, and then whatever happens next. But I'm still going.
Are you somebody that likes to plot ahead months, if not years in advance, or your daily existence is just a go with the flow type thing?
I think it's a bit of both. I think I have big markers for myself of what I want to see happen. But then in the day-to-day, I think a little bit of more leisurely activities mixed with fun and experimenting is important as well. You can't be too rigid.
Can I ask what you do on a day like this? You're about to play a sold-out show in Chicago. This show's on Veep, so it's streamed on the internet. Everybody's going to be able to see it. But in the lead up to it, what does a day on tour with Poppy look like?
Well, that varies a lot. Today, I woke up a little bit later than I would have liked, and we were underground. So it was very dark.
You were underground?
They make us park underground here. And then there's this scent that is a mix between pastry goodness and septic. So you can't really tell if it's good or bad. And then after that, we took a walk. I went and worked out and then came back. Then I just started to get ready for the show, but it really varies.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Negative Spaces, the new record, congratulations on it. It's my favorite thing you've done, and I hope you take that as a compliment, not just a backhanded one, because I'm a fan of the entire catalog, but I think it's quite brilliant. How do you feel about it 6 months after the fact? Are there things that stick in your head of I wish we would have done this instead, or I could have done this and, maybe bumped out this song, or are you pretty happy with it, all things told?
I feel very happy with it. I feel like those next steps or ideas are more forward. So what comes next and what I want to see happen next. I never really think about going back and changing something because I feel very passionately about it in the moment, and I'm very decisive.
That's interesting. You're very decisive. Do you think that's come with a confidence of doing this for as long as you have, or is that something that was just sort of born within you?
I think it's just stuck within me. It had to be from my genesis or something.
Wow, that sounds cool. I got to start talking about my genesis more. It sounds cool when people say that.
It feels like it was always a part of me, and I think I like my decisiveness here.
I do too.
On this planet, I'm able to make a quick decision. But I feel sometimes when I can't, it might just be because it's a bad decision, or it's not meant to be.
Yeah. I like that. That's wise.
Yeah, if something's perplexing, I should probably walk away from it.
I like that. I want to talk about, you and your music more in just a second, but around this time last year, Knocked Loose put out their incredible record. I talked to Brian right after that record came out, which you can watch that interview at Case For Knocked Loose on Q101's YouTube channel. And on camera and off camera, he was raving about working with you. So excited that you did vocals on Suffocate. Can I ask where the origin of your relationship with Knocked Loose started?
I believe the origin was he was with my friend, Brian, that is. Brian was with my friend Steve. He's a mutual friend of ours. And Steve, I wrote with Jordan for Negative Spaces, and we had worked together in the past. And they both came to a show that I was playing. And we met then, and then maybe a couple months after that, I would say, I messaged him and said that I felt like our voices would sound really good together. And then he wrote that song and he sent it to me, and I think I recorded it in about an hour.
What do you remember about the first time you heard Suffocate? Because I was on the train over here listening to it again, and I was like, God, it's a masterpiece. It's absolutely incredible they pulled that off.
Well, Brian sent it just as an instrumental at first, and then the lyrics were just typed up. Mm-hmm. But I knew that it was exciting when I heard it the first time.
Absolutely.
It was special.
When you have something like that and you use the word special there, like, do you remember the first piece of art that you created that resonated with people that weren't just in your own circle, when you realized that there's an outer world that cares about what you do? Do you remember when that was, and do you remember how that felt?
I would say probably earlier on when I was working primarily on the internet, and I was posting videos, and they were for me and to make my friends laugh, and then it became more than that. But it was a space that I got to which wasn't really trying to cater to anyone in particular, just myself, and then finding that people gravitated towards it. Not to say I wasn't trying, but it came in a way that nobody would have been able to tell me would unfold that way.
Absolutely. Are you friends with Jimmy Kimmel now?
I hope so.
I am curious because I talk to a lot of bands that do the late night circuit, and it seems like a very taxing day where not a lot happens, and then you're all of a sudden on TV. Can you walk me through the day of you and Knocked Loose doing Jimmy Kimmel and what that was like?
Well, I came to sound check and I had my outfit, and they have these guys that are really strange that wait outside with cameras with really long lenses, and then any photo that they take, are usually making a facial expression that you don't remember making. And then we sound checked the song, and I was a little bit nervous because there were so many people there, just crew-wise, not attendees. And I was mostly excited. And then when it came time for the performance, it all happened very quickly. And the rain started, and I was on one side of the stage, and then I was like, actually, I'm going to start from the other side of the stage. So
really?
Then I ran through the rain to the other side, and I thought about how easily it would be to trip and slip and fall. And then I thought if I did do that, that would be a moment for the internet. And I didn't fall.
No, and it still became a moment for the internet.
Yeah.
I mean,
we went back inside, and I was with my friend Jordan, and he said, I feel like that was a special moment. And I said, you really think so? And I think it was.
It was. I mean, it's the type of thing where, like, our radio station, we try to run the gamut of alternative music, but Knocked Loose is something that is deemed a little too heavy for airplay. But when the Kimmel thing happened, everybody, turned to me and they were like, well, we have to talk about this. Can you sort of walk us through this? And I was happy to mention Knocked Loose and Poppy were there. And it's become, I'm so glad, I guess, that I do feel like we've kind of moved into an engagement farming universe where musicians are using music as the vehicle that justifies why people might write about them, but they're never writing about the music. And that performance was so shocking for people that didn't know what they were getting into that we started talking about the musical aspect of it, which for me was quite exciting. There were people that were petrified by it. Do you have anything to say to the people that were perhaps unnerved by you and Knocked Loose on Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, I saw somebody sent me the news article, but I didn't exactly believe what it said. I feel like there was a little bit of a
Embellishment.
An embellishment, a couple dollars under the table, something like that. It read a little bit fishy to me, but nonetheless, it was talked about.
It was talked about. It was wonderful. You recently were on Jimmy Kimmel again to do The Cost of Giving Up, which was also fantastic.
Thanks.
I'm curious about the set design for that because I thought it was really beautiful with you standing in this field of flowers. How did you come up with that?
Well, I like flowers, and I feel like the juxtaposition of the song versus the flowers was nice.
I couldn't agree more. Did that one go okay?
Yeah, that one went well. It was just the first day of the tour, so we just paid Jimmy a visit real quick, and then we started this tour.
Good. Well, I'll get you out here in just a few minutes because I know you've got a big sold-out show to play. I do want to ask about the tour real quick because you have Kumo 99 on the road with you right now, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're really exciting. They're young. I think they're doing something different.
I agree.
Who are the bands right now that excite you? And I know that's a broad question, and I don't want you to feel like you have you're going to have pressure to forget somebody. But Kumo 99 took out when I saw this tour announced. I was like, yeah, that's good. That's a good pairing.
Yeah, I feel like all the bands that are out with us on this run are really special. We had Chinese American Bear, which played the first show and a couple of the shows at the end. And House of Protection is my friend Steve's band. I feel like they're really exciting live. Formerly of The Chariot and Fever, very high energy. We got to play shows with them in Bad Omens in Australia, and that was exciting. And then, yes, of course, Kumo 99. All of the acts are duos, so that's fun.
Was that intentional?
No, I just seemed to go that way.
That's fun.
Yeah, and I feel that it's actually quite hard to pick opening acts nowadays. There isn't really a lot. Like there is,
in terms
but
of availability
or
people that you want to tour with.
I feel like both, because I think the people, the personality, the compatibility, the possible friendship is important.
Is it okay if I ask when you're looking for an opener, what are the things you look for?
I look for a possible friendship.
That's beautiful. Oh my God, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you one last thing before we go. I was reading a quote with you, and I'm going to attribute it to Stereo Gum, but I could be wrong. But you said something that caught my eye recently where you said there's, quote, too much internet. Mm-hmm. And I agree. And I'm going through a thing right now where I'm trying to use the internet less and find what its purpose is. I guess my overarching question to you is, as we sit here in 2025 with the rise of AI and crypto bros and whatever else is bad in the digital space, do you just have the same overwhelming sense of dread that I do, that we've wasted the internet's potential and that it could have been way better than the reality that we're living in?
I believe yes. Mm-hmm. I feel like the vastness is overwhelming and it's being misused. Mm-hmm. That's why you have to just find a very small community to exist in. There's like dark alleys of the internet that you just should not look at.
Like the dark web?
There's that, but there's also ones at a more surface level that are accessible to Gen Pop, and those are scary too. So I feel like if you just find what you like and really circle it through your own algorithm, there's certain things I just won't click on. Mm-hmm.
That's good self-control. Not everybody has that self-control.
You have to keep it cats, cooking, music, house decor.
House decor? Mm-hmm. That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, Poppy, I won't take up any more of your time because you've got a big show to play here in Chicago. Before we go, obviously Negative Spaces is out now. Listen to the Knock Loose song, listen to the Bad Omens collab. Is there anything else that you want to let the people of Q101 Chicago know about?
Baby metal song coming out soon.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, very exciting.
Awesome. Well, Poppy, thank you so much for your time. I'm Case. You can follow me on Instagram, and please do. I'm desperate for more Instagram followers, @_Case Lowe. That is CaseLowe. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Q101's YouTube channel. We have new episodes every Monday. Next week, we'll have Scal on the program, which is going to be very, very fun. And until next time, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.